A trigger warning is a statement used to notify the audience of specific content, to give them an opportunity to consent as to whether or not they would like to proceed. For instance, this poem contains trigger warnings for murder, suicide, and transphobia. These days, my social media timelines have been filled with articles containing the previously mentioned trigger warnings. I no longer need to read past them to know that the article in question is probably a news report detailing the death of another trans woman of color. Or probably another suicide note left on Facebook. Or probably another article full of misgendering and dead naming instead of properly learning how to name the dead. Yasmin Vashpain, Ty Underwood, Lamia Beard. I don't need to keep reading name after name after name to know that here in America in 2015 there were 21 trans women, mostly of color, murdered at a rate that not even this poem can keep up with. I've had to change that number 12 times since I started writing this, because transphobia kills. This is not a metaphor. This is a fact. Meanwhile, most people have never stopped to think how they might be complicit in our deaths. But guess what? Your transphobia doesn't get to be a cute, harmless pet belief you can keep safe inside your cage of bigotry and religion. It isn't some morality you get to take to the grave then pass on to your children like a cheap inheritance. Your transphobia kills. Here in America. We are the most underemployed. We are the least housed. We are the highest targeted demographic of hate crimes on television. We end up as dead sex workers on CSI crime shows or punchlines for man's laughter in this justice system. Black trans women are often the ones incarcerated in cases when the attacker is killed when defending herself against assault. This is a crime punishable by multiple years in a men's facility. They call it manslaughter. I'll tell you this, it is no coincidence how manslaughter and man's laughter is essentially the same exact word. You see, transphobia is the subtle perpetrator no one wants to talk about. The monster only few are willing to rise up to. The terror no army is enlisted to fight against. Transphobia is more dangerous than you think. It is more fatal than you believe. It is more than you are able to contain when it goes unchecked. In this world, consider this your trigger warning. Do not let your complicity become the silencer covering the barrel of the gun. Do not let it be your finger pulling back the goddamn trigger, or my body on the other side of your hand holding the smoking gun. This poem contains a trigger warning. Your transphobia kills. Consider this poem your warning trigger. Kill your transphobia before I become the one it kills next.